it was a tough game. They had a good game plan. It works well first half for them. But I'm glad that we managed to come back in the second half and win the game. Manager was going, his head was like going for us, but it's something you need some time for, because I think first half the game was sloppy and we just were slow and just taking our time. Then last minute they managed to win the game, but we now more experience. We can manage that situation, and I'm glad that we did.
We had really good moments on the first half. We scored a goal, and then second half they accelerate and they were good, but I think the penalty, it was not the penalty, and then they changed the match.
And after the game I spoke to the Liverpool head coach, Arne Slot. Arne, another victory, a little bit like midweek, and you had to change things at half-time, but you found a way, and that's very important, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. That's also a sign of a good team, that you can win in different ways. But in Paris I had to change maybe because of tactics. Now I had to change because of work rate, and I don't think that has happened a lot this season. So it was a poor performance first half, not only in the way we played, but definitely also in the energy we brought.
How do you get those energy levels back at this stage of the season?
Now, the only good thing is about today that for the first 45 minutes, I don't think they ran at all. I exaggerated a bit, but they saved their energy. For me, that's not a good thing, because I believe that it's better to just go all in and just do to create habits, what I always talk about. But I also know that these players are capable of doing much better when it comes to performance, but also definitely in terms of work rate.
Darwin Núñez got his goal, of course, very important for him and the team, because it got you back in the game. He also made a difference in midweek. It must please you for him, and it would give him a real lift after a tough spell for him.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult for him after the Villa game, where he missed a big chance, but during the week he was already important in providing the assist to Harvey Elliott. And the both of them were again important today, but you could see even the first few minutes after half-time that the energy was different. So Lucio immediately took on a 1v1, and that created the first goal for Darwin. And in the second goal, the lead up to that, you saw Ryan Gravenberch pushing up to win the second ball and not be 20 or 25 yards away from the situation. So the energy was completely different. And you know, everybody knows how much of quality players we have, but if you don't play with the right energy, it's everywhere around the world is going to be difficult, but especially in the Premier League, let alone if we play Paris Saint-Germain, because that's the most intense team we've faced so far.
You've got a 16-point lead now at the top of the table. Do you know when your next Premier League game is?
Yeah, I do
April.
know. Yeah, it's a long way. And I think, if I'm correct, Arsenal plays 3 games before we play the next one. So now it's 16, but it can be 7 if we face Everton in a few weeks.
OK, Arne, thank you very much. I'm very sorry that despite the fact that you have to sit in the stand, they don't then tell you can't do the post-match interview, so you have to put up with our questions. But congratulations on the victory.
Thank you, Gary.
Yes, another win for Liverpool. But you could tell from that interview that Arne Slot was clearly very unhappy with his team's first half performance.
They definitely got a rollicking at half-time, didn't they?
Yeah.
He mentioned work rate, he mentioned energy. And I just want to show you the clips between the first half and the second half. So Szoboszlai and Jones in midfield, normally really energetic midfielders, but just look at the space Southampton was able to get into. I mean, they was dictating the game in that first half. I thought Fernandes was brilliant, but I just want you to look at the position of Diaz here, and he was in defensive positions where he couldn't hurt Southampton. No one was pressing the ball, no one's engaging, and a good opportunity for Southampton. The stark difference between the second half, to bring on McAllister, Elliott and Robertson. But look at the press, the intensity. This is the difference. And when people ask, why do you press, and whether it's in a mid-block, whether it's in a high block, it's to push the team back. So as we roll it on a little bit here, now Southampton are boxed in, which allows Diaz down that left-hand side to be in areas where he wants to be. You put him one-on-one in these situations, he can do anything, whether he goes right, whether he goes left, OK, nothing came of it on that occasion. On the next clip, the exact same. Look at Diaz's position, high and wide, where he can hurt the opposition. Again, Southampton are boxed in. This time, he goes the other side. Down the line, and who does he get this for? Núñez. Really good finish. I mentioned Robertson before, and this is what can happen when you stretch your opposition. One ball over the top, He likes to run in behind, and this is where the penalty comes from. I just think that tactical tweak at half-time was brilliant. He's not afraid to make them changes, and for me, yeah, it's a clear penalty.
Yeah, you can tell Slot's got a ruthless side, though, can't you? Because all coaches, top coaches, need them when you do it.
Yeah, you need to. When you've got big people in the dressing room, you need someone who you're going to take the information off and respect that information. And Slot's got that from day one. Do you remember on the first game of the season, Quansah, he said he wasn't aggressive enough. Yeah. He took him off at half-time.
But that's a title-winning coach. That's someone who knows that it's not just good performances, it's consistently being at it and staying at it and never coming off it.
And plus, Joe, as well, for Liverpool, is that Darwin Núñez got his goal because it's been 4 months since he got one at Anfield. So he needed that.
Huge moment for him. You know, he's an emotional player. We can see that. And today was a big day for him. It was that one, you know, after the Lord Mayor's show, the effort that went into the game on Wednesday night. But this kind of summed up his Liverpool career, buzzing around. It's a half chance, yes, but doesn't really get his head over the top of the ball. First half, they're just looking, Liverpool are looking, they're on top. No idea what he's really trying to do there, whether he's scooping it. You can see the frustration in here, chasing Walker-Peters back. And we see on the replay, he's missed the ball. Luckily, he's missed the player, because that could have been a terrible, terrible incident at the end of the first half, 1-0 down and losing a player. Arne Slot's had a word. Diaz comes out firing. Núñez on the front foot.
Great movement there.
Oh, really good movement and a really good finish. And this is similar to the little chance that we had at the end of the first half, just getting in front of small bones.
Do you think it was a penalty? Yorich didn't. We do, don't we?
I 100% think it's a penalty. He's clumsily through the back of him. And in those, 3 or 4 minutes, the game's turned. Main man scores. He's never missing from there. Yeah. And when you win leagues, you remember him for those, not the misses.
Yeah, big moment. Salah doesn't miss too many penalties at the moment. I mean, we're going to put up a graphic, and Alan will be quite happy because he's always at the top of this thing.
On it again.
Yeah, but Salah's moved up, and that's the interesting thing. Now he's he's level with your former teammate Sergio Aguero.
Great company.
Just 3 now behind Andrew Cole, and then can he chase down Rooney, Kane, and even Alan Shearer if he signs a new 4-year contract?
Maybe. It'd be
Huge
nice
numbers.
if he does.
They're huge
But
numbers.
I mean, Salah, we've talked about him so many times. It's just, he's breathtaking. Yeah. And why I say he's breathtaking, not because he has a great game all the time, but he scores. He's clinical, and he punishes you all the time. I remember when I was at Fiorentina with him, he always said his dream was to play for Liverpool, and he's living out his dream now. So, and he's doing amazingly well.
Love that. Love that.
The table. Let's have a quick look at the top of the table. Let's have a quick look just to check that lead. 16 points now from Arsenal. I mean, it's hard to envisage them not winning from there. I mean, it's a done deal. But you know, they could get a lot of points, get close to 100.
So strong, aren't they? And those moments when, you know, a difficult first half, they're managing to win game after game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just 1 point separated third place Nottingham Forest and fourth place Manchester City.
I didn't give them compliments at the half-time, I can tell you. Maybe it was because I was sitting up there instead of being at the line, because I know from experience, not that I've been suspended before, but yeah, in England I was, but that when you watch a game over there, you always feel like, maybe I can even play in this game. But if you're then at the line, it's always more tempo. But I don't think I was wrong this time if I said at half-time that energy levels were far too low. And that is what had to change, and that's why we made 3 substitutions, just to, apart from bringing in quality, also create something. Because 9 out of 10 times when you take 3 out, the other 8 are like, ooh, something else should happen. And that's the only thing I could come up with at half-time, to create something different for the second half.
Did you give any consideration to take Darwin off because of what happened just injury time on the yellow card, and did that keep on your mind?
In the end, I took him off because he was on yellow. But I always hate the idea if we need to score goals to take someone off that can score a goal. So that's why it wasn't in my mind to take him off, because I was already planning on, after these 3, if we don't score a goal, then Jot needs to come in and we have to go even more offensive. So with Cody being out, it isn't like we have that many attacking options left. So that's why I took a certain risk of keeping him. A number 9 that is on yellow is a difference than Costa. So I took Costas out, for that reason, because he was on yellow. And second of all, of course, I also knew that Robbo always creates something with his energy, with his mentality, not only in the team but also with the fans. And yeah, there's a reason why Maka is a World Cup winner, because he always shows up when you need him in terms of mentality, and that's also definitely what he brought in the second half.
If it did end up being another moment, we've seen it with Darwin already a few times this season. It just seems to go from one extreme to the other to big moments like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's also the life of a number 9. You go from missing a chance to scoring an important goal to then all of a sudden missing a chance again. But I think today, especially in the second half, you also saw the work rate he can bring to the team. And yeah, but the main thing that happened was in the second half that we started to play in a different tempo, not only without the ball, but also with the ball. So I think the first goal, if you look at Lucio, how he takes that 1v1 on, I don't think I can select a clip where that happened in the first half. Not a lot. And in the second clip, the second goal, Ryan Gravenberg pushed up all the way at the 18-yard line to win that ball, which led to the foul on Darwin, where in the first half, every ball that fell out, they could just pick up the ball and start to play. And no, the energy in the stadium for the players and by the fans was the second half completely different than the first half.
Hi, I'm István Keskes from Hungary. I'm for Sport news site. One question about Dominic. They play a lot of games now. What is the physical condition of Szoboszlai?
You didn't select the right game. Because every time I'm sitting here, I'm talking about Dominic, I'm talking about, he's a machine. He just can keep on going, running. But it was maybe the first time this season that I saw different energy from him, which is maybe normal. Maybe I made a mistake by playing him because he gives so much every single game. Now the good thing is he only played 45, so he's more rested for the upcoming week now than he is when I would have played him for 90. And the good thing for me is I have more than only one good midfielder in terms of Dominic. We have quite a few, and Harvey came in really strong and helped the team again after him helping the team against Paris Saint-Germain also.
Any concerns looking ahead to Tuesday and next week about the energy levels that you saw in the first half?
No, because I know these players can come up with completely different energy levels than they came up with today in the first half. I think it was maybe the first time this season that I saw this tempo. Maybe it had to do with me sitting high up, or do you agree with me that the first half was? Okay, then I saw it correctly. It had nothing to do with me sitting over there. If these people know anything about football, do they? Yes. Yeah, they do. Okay. What was the question? Oh yeah, can they go? Yeah. No, I think Paris Saint-Germain showed us the right example. They played Lille in incredible intensity, 4-0 up at half-time, and then they played against us. And that intensity I haven't seen before in a game we played this season. So yeah, we have to not only so when I look at the game against Paris Saint-Germain, we have to go one step up in terms of intensity. If I compare it with the game today, we need to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps up in terms of intensity if we want to have any chance of reaching the next round.
Last year we got 1, 2, 3, 5.
Was it a difficult decision not to start Harvey after his heroics on Wednesday night?
It's always a difficult decision not to start Harvey, not to start Botta, not to start all the other ones that I don't play. But if someone comes in 5 minutes, he touches his first ball, scores a goal, and then change your whole idea about all the lineups you made before, that would be a bit out of line, or yeah, you say it differently. In Dutch we say it differently, but that would be a bit weird as well. So yeah, he had a good impact on the game. Today, yet again, a good impact on the game. That's why he got 45 minutes today as well, because he did so well in Paris. But there's also a reason why I play so many times the other ones, and all the time they deserved that trust. But today, if I could do it one more time over, I would have started differently than I started today. But yeah, you don't know this in advance.
Can you see Harvey Elliott doing enough to get into your starting 11? Like his confidence today seemed off the chart, probably after Wednesday.
Yeah.
Can you see him doing enough to get in there? Will there be enough time for him?
Yeah, there's enough time. We play 9 more games in the Premier League and hopefully a few more in the Champions League as well, with 1 in the League Cup. So what it is with him, it is also with other players. They are in competition with so many good players, and that makes it sometimes difficult to make a lineup, but it always helps to bring in performances in like this for him, but also Wata. He came in 15 minutes before the end, and again, he showed how important he is for this team, and the others as well. So he trains really well. He does this, and that's I said it many times about Wata. I can say the same about Harvey. Hardly any playing time, but just keeps on going. And then when your moment comes, then you can show your quality, and that's the biggest compliment I can give him. But also the biggest what he brings to the team is that he just kept on going. Because I've experienced more than enough players that if they are in the same situation like him or Wata, they start to do less and less. And when you then play him, you will probably not ask me why you don't play him. And this is the situation we want as a team. And it makes it sometimes difficult for me, that's true.
Just Gakpo, could he have been on the bench today, Arnold, or did you say?
No, otherwise I would have taken him because this was the most important game of the week, like I told you. And the first of 3 finals.